Sama-sama, lupa.
Boleh.
1, 2, 3.
Assalamualaikum
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Hey guys, How are you doing? I hope you have a nice day. So today we would like to have a discussion about common problems in Indonesia. The topic is fighting against the corruption's problem in Indonesia. Before we jump into the discussions, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Anggun Fatiasani.
My name is Akilah Mariam Azza.
And my name is Nurjana Syafitri.
All right, thank you guys. So first, I want to define what is the meaning of corruption. So corruption refers to misusing public power for personal gain. It can be done by an elected politician, civil servant, journalist, administrator of a school, or anyone in authority. Corruption is deceitful behavior that people in positions of power exhibit for personal gain. It is most commonly seen amongst government officials or managers. So, guys, what do you think about corruption rate in Indonesia?
I personally think the corruption rate in Indonesia can be considered quite high and has been a long-standing issue, with various scandals rocking the country political and business landscape. Yeah, for the example, the e-KTP or electronic identification card, which is the largest corruption scandals in our country's history.
Thank you, Jana. What about your opinion, Akila?
About red corruption in Indonesia, in my view, corruption remains a significant challenge in Indonesia. It's distressing to see how deeply ingrained it is within various sectors of society, from government offices to business. Transparency International consistently ranks Indonesia as one of the most corrupt countries. So Indonesia is the most corrupt countries in Transparency International. And unfortunately, the reality reflects this ranking. We often hear about corruption scandals involving high-ranking officials, politicians, and even members of law enforcement. So it's quietly high too, same as Nurjana opinion.
Thank you, Akila. So, guys, I agree with you. In my opinion, I have similar opinion of you guys. The corruption cases in Indonesia is higher. Indonesia is the country with the 4 highest corruption cases in ASEAN. This can be seen from the Transparency International or TI report, as Akila said. So the TI report stated that Indonesia's corruption perceptions index or CPI score was recorded at 34 points on a scale of 0 until 100 points in 2023. This score has been stagnant since 2022. The average global GPA score is 43 points in 2023. This means that Indonesia's score is worse than global standards. Yeah. So what about the root of the problems? What do you think of the root of the problems?
About the root. Ini apa ya bahasa Inggrisnya?
So first, I want to say my opinion. In my opinion, the root of the corruption problem in Indonesia is the lack of a proper accountability system, lack of management and supervision of the cash flow of state income and expenditure, and also the lack of a good work ethic culture in government ranks, and the lack of exemplary leadership. What about you guys?
Yeah, I personally have similar opinion. Yeah, do you know the herd mentality, which means we are normalizing the corruption, like we just think that it's okay, not we but the corruptors, most of them just think like if they can be rich, why don't I, like that. And then lack of transparency, they don't want to be open and be honest with the public. And legal loopholes, which is the weaknesses in the law, and there are many chance they got from the quitting the government.
Yeah, they got so many. It's back from their mentality to make it disappear the corruption. So the root causes of corruption from my point of view, corruption thrives due to several reasons. Firstly, there's a lack of strong laws, same as Anggun said, there's a lack of strong laws and punishment to deter corrupt behavior. This creates an environment where individuals feel they can get away with dishonest acts. Secondly, low wage for government workers can make them more susceptible to taking bribes or engaging in other corrupt activities to make ends meet. Additionally, complex bureaucratic processes and red tape can provide opportunities for corruption to flourish.
So, guys, we have similar opinion about that too. But is there any others opinion from you guys, or is it enough?
Yes.
Think there's any other factors like we are talking about the government and mentality, and let's just say there are also external factors. I mean, like globalization, transnational crime, because the corruptors are not only within our country but also have some happens in border like smuggling or money laundering. It can make corruption worse because it's harder to track and stop illegal activities that cross country lines. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
So you think that globalization is also be a factor of corruptions?
Not globalization, but like transnational crime,
Oh,
like from
transnational
one
crime.
border to another border.
Oh, all right, all right. I get it, I get it. Okay, thank you, Jana.
Right.
So, guys, we just know about the factor of corruption, internal and also external. So, how we as university students, how to deal with the problem of corruption in Indonesia? Do you guys have any have any opinion?
Yeah.
You may pick Akila.
Jana first.
Oh, me first. All right. I think as a university student, we can contribute by raising awareness about corruption through education and advocacy, like by joining the organization. And two, we also can advocating for transparency and accountability in both public and private sectors. Sectors. And three, we can also participating in anti-corruption initiative. Yeah, I think so. That's
Okay, thank you, Jana. What about you, Akila?
For me, from my point of view, for Jana said all of that, but uh, I think it's back for ourselves mentality that we should anti of corruption from ourselves in ourselves first. Yeah.
So you think that we have to start in ourselves first.
Yeah.
So how you can you start with yourself first? Like how can you deal with this problem in yourself first?
Like we learn about corruption is very much make problem for many people. Not for small people, but for much of people that corruption it is. And from learning PKN,
Civic education.
yeah, civic education in campus.
Okay, but yeah, you said that we have to learn by ourselves first, but you know, like there is already corruptor in Indonesia, but how can we deal with this problem? Like there's already corruption in Indonesia. It's happening. It was happening now. So how? How?
How about you, Anggun? Do you have your own opinion in this case?
Okay, from my opinion, in my opinion, I have some opinions. As a university students, we can like promoting the importance of work ethic and a culture of integrity in Indonesia. Maybe we can posting some material or like like knowledge on our social media, so others maybe our friends can now oh, this is so important for us to know uh, um, the importance of work ethic and a culture of integrity. And also maybe it can be known by the others, like maybe our family, like which is a war on the government or stuff that. So I think it's important for us to promoting the importance of war ethic and a culture of integrity. So guys, your opinion is are really good. So guys, as we all know, the corruptors are in Indonesia will be get the punishment. So what do you think about the death penalty? Is it needs to be applied to corruptors in Indonesia or not?
Personally, I slightly agree and disagree with the idea that the death penalty should be given to the corruptors. Like, yeah, I agree that especially if the reason behind the corruption is their own greediness and selfishness, of course they need to go through some investigation first before deciding whether they should have got a death penalty or no. But if we really want to get rid of corruption, I think the main thing that we have to do is fixing the moral and laws within our country. They like the people, especially in the government, there are a lot of them who no longer worry about the right thing. The concern is only getting what they want. Yes, we definitely have to fix the law, harsh punishment, close loopholes, and uphold the law. But yeah, Indonesians like have a bad tendency to do things only on a short while. Like we need to be consistent here to eradicate corruption. Yeah, if you want to do something, then I think we should start from the smallest thing first. I think that's like we should go into the root of the problem because is if it's just the death penalty, I think it's good for the corruptors who always repeating the same cases. But for some other corruptors, I think they should be given chance or not chance, but like time to repaying back what they have been taking.
Yeah. Somewhat about the death penalty is for the alternative measures such as the death penalty in first condition, it is a human rights principle abuse. The alternative measures such as confiscation of assets according to the amount of corruption. So the government is asset seizure the corruptor, and so it hurts like maybe more effective in deterring corruption while upholding human rights principles.
So Jana said that he slightly agree, and Akila said that you are not
Somewhat
totally
like,
agree with
yeah.
this. Yeah, because there is another alternatives we can do of two corruptors in Indonesia. Is it right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
somewhat
can.
maybe I agree because the the amount of the corruption, maybe the corruptors is making such a big uh mistake problems for our country, like very big amount, and so it is for me he can get a death penalty.
Okay. Thank you, Akila, and also thank you for Nurjana. So you guys have said that your opinion about the death penalty. So I want to convey my opinion about the death penalty too. So actually, I agree that the death penalty needs to be applied to corruptors in Indonesia. Some people may strongly oppose this because they think this is very contrary to human rights. But if you look at the impact of corruption itself, the impact is more contrary to human rights. So corruption causes expensive public health service, slow or even halted infrastructure development, widespread poverty in society, and also it impacts to the slow development of a country. Jana said that the death penalty can be applied if the corruptor was repeated the corruptions, right? I actually I don't totally agree with that because maybe the corruptor do the corruption just once, but the money who he corrupt is like is a big amount, like a big money, like for example, the corruption in pension funds at PT Asabri, a case that occur in the financial sector. The case of irregularities in investment funds from PT Asuransi Armed Forces of the Republic of Indonesia, or Asabri, which caused losses to the state of 22.78 trillion. Imagine, it's a big numbers, it's a big money. So I think maybe the corruptor do once, but he give they give a big impact, so I don't totally agree with that, but I also totally agree, which is maybe the corruptor do some maybe once or twice corruptor, so it can be the death penalty. But if the corruptor do once is also I agree if the death penalty is also applied to the corruptors in Indonesia.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Then does that mean that we should agree or disagree with the idea of death penalty?
Based on
Actually, yeah. Akila, please.
based on
Okay.
the three of us opinion, the conclusion is we slightly agree because but agree but not disagree. So it's agree if it's make much of impacts like the big amounts of corruptions. Maybe it can be agree, but if it can be disagree, if it's not too much big amount of corruptions like that.
Yeah, but so guys, but why how if the death penalty do you guys think it can be final penalty, or it just the like the main penalty of corruptors? What do you think, guys?
The main penalty of the
Like
corruptors.
if the corruptor did the penalty did the corruptions, is it they have the death penalty directly, or what? If the corruptor did the big corruptions.
I think, yeah, we should.
But this is only for cases that have a big impact other, such as the PT Asabri case where the funds corrupted amounted to 22.78 trillion. Is it right?
Yeah.
And we should make stronger rules and laws, I guess.
Yeah, we have to make strong rules and also law, because the corruptions have a big impact to our country, right?
Yeah, it's very.
Like ethical leadership and everything about it.
Is it done, moderator?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so I want to take conclusions for all of these discussions. Okay. So corruption is deceitful behavior that people in positions of power exhibit for personal gain. It is most commonly seen amongst government officials or managers. So the corruption cases or the corruption problems in Indonesia is higher. Indonesia is the country with the 4 highest corruption cases in ASEAN, which is very high. So, and the factor of corruptions happened in Indonesia is the lack of transparency and also accountability system in Indonesia, and also the lack of law in Indonesia for a lot of corruptors, which is have a big impact to others in our country, and also the lack of a supervision of the cash flow of state income and also expenditure in Indonesia, and the lack of exemplary leaderships. So about the death penalty, we totally agree that the death penalty needs to be applied to corruptors in Indonesia. But this is only for cases that have a big impact, such as I said, the PT Asabri case, where the funds corrupted amount to 22.78 trillion. So that's the conclusions. So thank you so much, guys, for these discussions. It's very open my mind to these problems. What about you guys?
About the conclusion from we?
Yeah, is it useful to you? Like, is it give you new knowledge about corruption or no?
Very useful and knowledgeable. And it's
What about
fun.
you, Jenna?
And it's fun.
Yeah, it's
It's
fun.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I agree with that. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
And
you.
sorry. Yeah, thank you. And also, I apologize to all inconveniences. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh iya, waalaikumsalam.